Hello, everyone. Welcome to my video. I'm so happy to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about Dragon Quest, more particularly Dragon Quest Monsters. We haven't had a Dragon Quest Monsters in the United States for over a decade. We are long overdue for an update in the series, what could be a beautiful modern game, and it's very different from Pokemon. You could lump it in with a Poke clone, but it's much more than that to me and many other people. Dragon Quest was one of the first video games I ever played as Dragon Warrior on the NES in the 90s. I was 4 years old when I first played it, and those monsters enchanted me far more than Pokemon ever did. I love Pokemon, but my true love will always be Dragon Quest. Now, with that said, I stumbled upon a man who wants a Dragon Quest Monsters update as much as I do. He's made a plea to SquareEnix by making beautiful art, which of course I'm going to link to his Instagram in the video description below. 365 days worth of incredible art with his own personality put into it and just matching the likeness of these monsters in a way that I had never seen before. It's very impressive. I want you all to check this out. But the point is, we want a new Dragon Quest Monsters. I'm happy to announce that I will be streaming many of the Dragon Quest Monsters games in 2022 on this YouTube channel. And hopefully next year, this year, who knows when, we will get another Dragon Quest Monsters game. Now, I'm going to be bringing on Wade Lutz, Dragon Luck on Instagram. He's joining us for an interview. Let's get this started. All right, everyone, here we have Wade Lutz joining us for this wonderful video about Dragon Quest Monsters. I'm so excited to talk to him. He has had quite the year making his plea for a new Dragon Quest Monsters. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So
it's a pleasure. It's been a pleasure doing this DQM365.
Yeah, so I stumbled upon it towards the end, but it didn't seem any less amazing to me that you've done it for 365 days.
Yeah, it was an undertaking to say the least. Sometimes, you'd have to, there were times because, regular life has to continue. Like when I went on vacation, I had to preload like a week's worth in like 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like constantly at it. But, it's, yeah, it was something. Definitely, I'm definitely proud of it. It's my love letter to the franchise, I guess.
Yeah. Now, when you started doing it, did you plan on doing it for 365 days?
Yeah, well, it was like I was telling you earlier, I started on a whim. It was like, it happened to be New Year's Day. I was sitting down at the computer, I was ready to sketch something. And I was like, yeah, I'll draw a Dragon Quest monster, a little goodie bag. Just kind of get something out, just for fun. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna @SquareEnix and Dragon Quest and tell them that I'm doing this every day for a year, so that they give me a Dragon Quest Monsters game finally. Which I have yet to hear about it. The 35th, there was a lot of great news that happened, but no Monsters game yet. I remember actually the Eric game it's now Dragon Quest Treasure. It's called Treasures, right? Is that what
I believe so.
Yeah, Eric and Mia. It was speculated that it'd be a Monsters game, but I guess we have yet to hear what that's gonna. It looks almost more like a Captain Toad kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yeah, so we'll to be determined about that.
Yeah, to be determined. Hopefully.
Hopefully, we will be crossing.
Will not go unheard.
Yes. So my question to you is, what is your favorite Dragon Quest monster game?
That's a tough call. Honestly, I think it's probably the remake of Dragon Quest Monsters 1. I played the fan translation of that one, and it was just a fantastic revisiting. It feels exactly the same, but like fully realized, you know what I mean? Like, it's just an immaculate translation of what that game was and is. And I mean, because like the first Dragon Quest monsters I played, well, then it was Dragon Warrior monsters.
Yeah.
Endlessly. It was back in the 90s. There was kind of like a Pokemon scare, if you will, that was all evil, and so I was a casualty of that for a brief moment, and so, but I got Dragon Quest monsters out of the deal. Funny thing is, in Dragon Quest there's real demons.
Yeah, I know, right?
So yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, growing up, I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter, but
same.
I was able to have Pokemon and Dragon Quest, and I played Dragon Warrior on the NES when I was 4 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, I played the original Dragon Warrior monsters, or the original Dragon Warrior on the NES on one of my friends, but I never owned that one. The first mainline title that I played actually was Dragon Warrior 3 on the Game Boy, and that changed my world. That was before monsters even for me. But it was like, oh my God, a game with fantasy Goku and a sword. It's so cool.
Right.
I was like really into Dragon Ball. I mean, Akira Toriyama is my inspiration for taking art seriously from a very young age. And so this project is almost like a love letter to him as well, because I love his monster designs.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Because what I love about them is they're like goofy and scary, and like there's a whole spectrum of, they're just really playful overall.
See, I feel like you just read my mind. It's like they hit a lot of categories all in the same series. Like the monsters, yeah, they're just whimsical, they're fun. I almost got the sense of sarcasm in some of the games.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some sassy monsters for sure.
Yeah.
Like the jail cat just like laying around, like sometimes its turn doesn't even happen because it's just being a cat,
Yeah.
going on the floor.
But I have to agree with you 100%. Toriyama's art is just, I think, peak art.
Yeah.
And of course,
same. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I mean, it's the reason I got serious about art in the first place, was because I wanted to be able to draw Dragon Ball Z well. And then Dragon Quest happened to me, and it's like, oh my God, this is so much better even.
That's how I feel too. I actually watched Dragon Quest when it was on Cartoon Network as a kid, and I loved every bit of it. I was obsessed with it. I had all the toys, but Dragon Warrior at the time, being Dragon Warrior, I would save up my lunch money. I would buy what I could from Japan. The shipping was always more than the item, and it just felt like a piece of pure gold to me. And I would cherish these little monster toys.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, like this one. I found out later that I could have picked it up for like $20 if I waited like 3 years. At the time, it was like at the time of the 25th, I think this came out.
Yep.
The Monster Encyclopedia. I spent like $80 on it.
But yeah, somebody like you or me, we're not going to wait for that. That's like the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would be like some of your top favorite monsters out of the series?
Oh man, my homeboys are the Skeleton Soldier. He's been my mainstay. All the like there are playthroughs of Dragon Quest monsters where I only have Skeleton Soldiers as a team.
No way.
You just steamroll everything. Well, because I got that like quad attack, and like you can get them up real high. And I mean, just the way that monster breeding works in those games is just, you can make anything good.
Yep. For sure. Yeah.
That's one of the things I really love about it, is it's like really customizable. Zoma's my first love.
Oh, I love Zoma.
Yeah, he was the first boss monster I ever figured out how to make, by accident entirely, because when you're a kid playing those games, I didn't have a player's guide or anything. It was just kind of like breed chaining. And then magically Zoma happened. But also because Dragon Quest 3 was my first game, it's like, oh yeah, I'm like I'm pretty hot. Check this out. I got Zoma. He's the biggest bad guy of them all.
Oh yeah, I have a huge attachment to Zoma. I actually think I have a Zoma figure that I ordered that should be here within the next month that I'm
Oh, nice.
about.
Right
Yeah.
on, right on. Yeah.
Yeah, my go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say my favorites are probably Archdemon,
Yeah.
originally Star Waver, and I think it's Chimera now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then of course Draguar, or however you say
Yep,
that
yeah,
one's like.
yeah, Dragor is a good one. Totally.
But you know, that kind of like segues into another question. Like, what
Yeah.
elements do you think from Dragon Quest monsters from the past that you'd like to see in a modern game? Like, I feel like breeding was a very important feature.
Absolutely. That was like the most fun, like just figuring out how to get, I mean, and in the DS remakes, they did an awesome job of being able to inherit skills and like picking which parents do what and pass on what, and then like giving you kind of options of what the offspring will be, instead of it being completely like you have to know exactly what's going on. You know, you have a little bit more flexibility. So I think that is just something that is so fantastic. Being able to customize, you know, your monster how you want it to be. Like, you know, you could take a mage slime and make it a full physical attacker.
Right.
It's
crazy. Yeah. And it's very different, I feel like, from Pokemon breeding. Like League's different.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
For somebody who's never played Dragon Quest monsters, that's something you should really play just to understand what we're talking about with the breeding. It's just so different.
Yeah, I think one thing that I love most about it is like that you're able to get a completely different monster, and then as you chain up, you know, they get stronger and crazier and like more insane with what they can do. And of course, you know, eventually you get boss monsters in the mix, you know, like plus 99, you know, like,
which is nuts.
like there's a sense of accomplishment when you figure something out like through a crazy breed chain that you don't get with Pokemon, because a lot of the things with Pokemon breeding is like the stats are hidden. You have to kind of like know what their IV values are to get exactly what you want, and then you have to do it like 50 dozen times before you get like what you're after. You know, it's got to have the right nature. It's got to, you know. So it's, I mean, it's a different kind of thing, but it's a lot more dependent on the randomness than Dragon Quest is.
Yeah. And if you do it, sorry. If you do it 3,000 times, you might get a shiny, and then
exactly.
Yeah, so I do feel like that was like one of the coolest features of those games for sure.
Yeah,
forever.
It's, I mean, and no other game really has done it. It's Lim. Have you ever played that one?
No.
It's a PC game by I think Thylacine Studios. Excuse me. It's pretty much very heavily inspired by Dragon Quest as far as the mechanics go. It really shows through. I've played a bit of it. It's just not as good as a Dragon Quest game, but you know, it scratches the itch in a way. But you know, the creature designs, they're all over the place, and it's pretty fun with the kinds of things that can happen, but it's not like we were talking about earlier, you know, Akira's just je ne sais quoi that he puts into those monsters. Like by the time 11 came out and seeing them like move around like fully rendered, you know, like it's like, oh my God. I remember the first time I killed a Cruel Cumber. It was hilarious. This fall down spear flips up and stabs it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's there's something about it, you know.
I just feel like the personality can't be replicated in another series. Like
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, is there any fun Dragon Quest items that you've collected over the years? I mean, I know you have those 2 books, which are
I got the books. I had a Zoma figure ages and ages ago, but it got lost in the move. I
Oh,
got my DS games here, handful of them. I don't have cases for 4 or Joker or Joker 2. I've got those 2. They're all in my game clip, but I have the full collection of DS games,
mhm.
which is kind of a sought after thing these days. It's
Oh, yeah.
I just found out like that, like Dragon Quest 5 is like $200 now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't re-released anything.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. Never would have guessed. I figured I could, like, if I had lost them, which I thought I did, funny enough, but my brother ended up having them all. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be like $30 if I want to get it again. It's like, nope.
Surprising, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went up in value even more over time.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like they're still worth the $200.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I'm just glad I got them when they were, off the shelf at 40.
Yeah, same. I was happy to find that I still had some of the cases for them too.
Yeah.
Those alone are pricey.
Yeah.
The cases,
definitely.
box art. So out of the 365 days that you did, what were a couple of your favorite ones?
Oh man, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because like I said at the very beginning, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll just do a quick sketch. By the time I did the Rot Raven, which I think was like day 9 or so. Let me see. I don't know, I was 16. I started in court. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start doing colors. Actually, no, Damselfly was the first one. Huh? How about that? But then they just like went on and got crazier and crazier. I really liked how Phantom Fencer came out. I thought that was pretty rad.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I really liked how The Witch came out. That was like one of my, I think it was the second to last one, actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one was gorgeous. I mean, they're all gorgeous, but I saw that one, I was like, whoa.
I was going to pick up my wife from the airport because it was like during all the snow craziness over on the far west coast. And we didn't know, if the flight was going to get like grounded again or, whatever. So it was like, I was kind of just like up late waiting for like 4 hours. So I'm like, I'm just going to put a lot of polish on this.
It shows.
Thank you. I really love the Skeleton Soldier. I really actually the Dead Knot I like a lot. That one came out really nice. I think that might be my most liked one too. The slimes, actually, the first slime one that I did, I was like, that's just too simple doing a single slime. So then I just like packed the whole thing full of them. That one was a lot of fun. And then I did that again with the metal slimes, I think. Be a buttload of experience. Yeah, a number of them. Got quite a few.
Yeah. 365 of
them. The jargon one, I also really like how that one came out.
Yeah,
just
because
it was
nice.
like looking in the pot. I thought it was funny. It felt like very much in the spirit of like how things are presented in the games.
Yeah, a lot of those, your art, like I could sense their personalities through your art and art style, and it just kind of gave them like a new life. Like I was just, I don't know how to explain. I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's totally something they would be doing. It was
yeah. Well,
really
that was one thing I was really trying to do was like, because obviously you have your images pulled up for reference. But then I was like, I can't just like copy the pose. I want to like kind of crop it, make it a bit different. Some of them are obviously a little more interpreted than others. But I really tried pretty hard to like make a new pose going on than like what the official art has, just so it has my own twist on it.
Yeah, I felt like nothing was just like taken right out of a book or an existing image. It just kind of had its own life to it, and that's what I thought was really impressive. And then your art style itself, it's like very Toriyama like, but it also has its own unique quality to it. Your whole art style is very magic inspired. It's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. I learned so much doing this because I've never done like a draw every day challenge before, and I had never really messed around with like Photoshop brushes at all before this. So like after a handful of them into it, I was like, I'm just gonna figure out brushes. I'm just gonna like play with different ones, see what ones I like, and then I kind of ended up developing a system over the course of it, which, I mean, originally some of these took like quite a while, and I got so much faster over the process of doing it all. It's pretty cool to like be able to see the beginning to the end, the differences.
Yeah, I feel like I noticed a little bit of a difference too. Like, how long do you think they would take on average to make?
On average, depends on the monster, but like towards the end, the witch took me like maybe 4 hours. The Joker one, just because, even though it's like all flats, because there's like 6 bosses in it, took about all day. Like 8 to 10, but something like let's see, I mean, they tended to range from an hour to 2 hours on average. But back in the day, like the Harmer was one of the earlier ones. That was when I was first kind of starting to be like, okay, let's do something a little bit fancy here. That took me probably 4 hours to do.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then so I got a lot faster, like a lot more bang for my buck as time went on, as I kind of figured some stuff out. The meticulous line work, like sometimes like the Iron Maiden, the hair took so long to do, because I did like each strand, but yeah, it's a range, but they tended to not take more than an hour or two from start to finish.
Yeah, it's great that you got to like learn new techniques as you went about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great.
And once again, I'm going to say that I'm going to be linking to his Instagram in the video so you could see all of this. I know this isn't the most graphically interesting video being interviewed, but I will link to that and be sure to check that out. And before we go, I got to ask, is there anything else you want to say to SquareEnix?
Please give us a Dragon Quest game. Also, I'm really excited for the HD remake of Dragon Quest 3.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know
that's coming sometime. Hopefully this year. I hope it's this year.
I hope it's this year. Yeah, when I was watching the 35th anniversary video and they announced that, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I know.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But with that said, thank you so much again for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Congratulations on your accomplishment of doing those 365 days. It is truly impressive.
Thank you.
It deserves recognition. And keep up the great work. We'll have to stay in touch.
I surely shall. Absolutely.
Take care.
You're out.
All right, everyone. I want to thank you so much for watching. I want you to share this video. I want to spread the word. We want to do Dragon Quest monsters. I want you to share your memories of playing the games in the comments. Definitely leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss me playing Dragon Quest monsters on YouTube. I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now and take care.